Shalom. I want to start off by giving all honor, all glory, all praise to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rokaha, Kodash. Peace and blessings to the hopeful elect, and double honors to the elders, prophets, and teachers who rule well and taught us this 100% true. I want to say the Wada Yahweh for, allowing me to go into this lesson, right? Like we talked about last night. It's going into Stargate, the Stargate AI situation. Right? And before I get to this video, Salakia, before I get here, looking for which one I possibly need first. We're going to go to this one first, man. Okay? Got it turned up. Wait. There's a commercial, Salakia. Yep, there it is. Right, give me a second.
Good for you.
Play. All right.
This monumental undertaking is a resounding declaration of confidence in America's potential under a new president. This is, to me, a very big thing. $500 billion Stargate project. I think it's going to be something that's very special. It'll lead to something that could be the biggest of all.
Yeah, you hear that?
President Trump just won't.
Now he says can lead to something that's the biggest of all. What is he going into? What is he talking about? The MOTB. That's really what he's talking about. The MOTB, man, which is the mark of the beast. And we're going to prove it, right? But, they want to spend $500 billion. I believe that's what he said, $500 billion or Slocky.
Moments ago here at the White House announcing this new
special. It'll lead to something that could be, I think it's going to be something that's $1 me, a very big thing, $500 billion.
Yeah, $500 billion.
Stargate project. I think it's going to.
I didn't want to misspeak. $500 billion project, right? Which he's already started it at $100 billion. And he's already started the development of these data centers in Texas already, right? And they already began the construction on them, man. So look, Trump is on the move, man. He's on the move. I wouldn't put the spirit on these devils to start pushing forth and getting shit done and starting to bring us into the time, right, where shit is about to hit the fan. And when I say that, I'm meaning Jacob's trouble and the mark of the beast. Now, let's get back to that video I had popped up before. We're gonna play this one, right? Because I just needed Trump's excerpt on that other video. It's a lot.
Listen closely. Trump just announced a $500 billion collaboration with OpenAI to integrate Stargate AI into critical infrastructures. They're selling it as progress, as a leap into the future. But here's the truth. It's not about progress. It's about control. Stargate AI is a system designed to infiltrate communication networks, decision-making processes, and even societal structures. Imagine a world where every move you make is tracked, your thoughts analyzed, and your decisions predicted. They claim it will revolutionize humanity, but it's building the ultimate surveillance state. The same billionaires preaching freedom are creating a digital cage. Where are the voices calling this out? Rogan, Carlson, Brand, Peterson, the Tates. Silent. Stargate AI isn't just technology. It's power. Power to dominate, manipulate, and control humanity on a level we've never seen before. Will you accept the cage they're building? Or will you fight to stay free? Stay strong. This is the Alliance.
Now you heard it. It is a surveillance. That's what the main thing is. That's what this Stargate AI is going to do. It's going to be a surveillance. It's going to help, or Salaki, it's going to help with the surveillance, because in order for us to be connected with this Stargate AI, we're going to need to they're going to need to go under our skin. They're going to have to go under our skin, which is what known as what? Surveillance under the skin, which is the MOTB, also known as the mark of the beast. And that's what's coming, man. Now, before we move any further, I want to go into the mark of the beast so that you know that it is the RFiD C-HIP, right? This is the book of Revelation, chapter 13, verse 16. And he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, note, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads. And notice that it says all. So this is not going to be a US only thing. This is not going to be an EU only thing, a NATO thing. No, he's going to cause all. That's everybody in the world, man, to receive this mark, right? Jacob's trouble is going to be worldwide, not just in the US. But they're going to receive a mark in their right hand or in their forehead. Now we're going to go into that word mark, right? Get the blue letter. Slocky. And forgive me, I'm coughing a lot, still getting over this cold. So Salakia, bear with me. Right? Revelation 13 and 16. Adjust this. Right, we're gonna go all the way down. Receive a mark. Right?
Strong's G 5480. Charagma. Charagma.
Okay. So paragma. So that goes, you drop down the outline biblical usage, a stamp, an imprinted mark, right? Of the mark stamped on the forehead or the right hand as a badge of the followers of the Antichrist. The mark branded upon horses, thing carved, sculpted, graven work of idolatrous images. Now drop down to Strong's definition. Slock. Strong's definition. Charagma from the same G5482, a scratch or etching, i.e. stamp, as a badge of servitude, a sculpted figure, statue, graven, mark. But we're going to go into this scratch real quick, right? I'm going to go into that word scratch really quickly. Scratch. A slight wound or laceration, a slight tear in the skin or surface produced by something sharp or rough. See that, man? A scratch. What's going to cause that? Let's also go into etching. Okay, etching. Slog. Going to etching. Etching. Verbal. Verbal noun for etch. The art of engraving. Right? Etch. To engrave by eating away the surface with acids. Now, etch, to engrave. Let's go into that. It used engraving, so let's go into that engrave. See what we get with that. If we get a little closer to what we're looking for. There it is. To cut in. To make by incision. To produce or form by incision on a hard surface. Right? Incision. Let's go into that. Lock. Incision. A cutting made in surgery. Cutting made in surgery. Remember this. I'm going to actually come back to this. Salakia. I'm going to go a little further into that word paragma. Salakia, if you hear my son in the background. I'm going to go to etymology, right? Which is karax.
Strong's G 5482. Charax. Charax.
Damn, why do I keep doing that? Salakia. All right. Karax. It says a pale or stake, a palisade. Okay? A palisade, right? Karax to sharpen to a point through the idea of scratching. See, it goes back to scratching. So this pale or stake or palisade, right, which goes into karax, is sharpened to a point through the idea of scratching. So through this palisade, you're going to get that scratch, that charagma. Through the karax, The Kurax is going to give you that charagma. A palisade or rampart, military mound. Let's what is a palisade? Let's go into that real quick. Show you an example of a palisade, man. Right here. This is an ancient palisade fence. You see those beams sharpened to a point? That's your palisade, man. Now you got to understand that when the prophets were going, they were giving you an example of what they were seeing to the best of their ability based on the information that they knew back then. So they were looking at some of these items and they didn't know what they were. So they defined it to the best of their abilities. Now, he called it a palisade. What does this look like? Let me show you. Does that not look like this? See that? Does that not look like that, man? Lock it. Let me look at that. That's your palisade right here. This is what's going to be used to cause that scratch or that mark. This is what's going to cause that mark to appear on you when this is inserted in it. You understand that? Right? We know all this through the spirit, man. The same needle that they use to implant animals. Slakia. Same needle they use to implant animals. Now, let's go back to the scriptures. We gonna get some more reading. Right? Right? I'm gonna read it over. Revelation 13:6. And he causes all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their forehead. Salakia. Right? And that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name. So this mark caused by this palisade was giving people the ability that they might buy or sell. Right? And what you have to understand is that this devil who controls this kingdom, he wants to be in control of everything. So he's going to implement this RFiD CHIP in order to control what you buy and what you sell. Salaki, yeah, what you buy and sell. Right? He's going to use this mark to control you. You're not going to be able to buy anything or sell anything unless you have this mark. You understand? That goes back to what? Surveillance under the skin. And it's going to be so much that if you do not receive this mark, you're going to be basically an outcast of society. Right? They're going to throw you into the camps. They get their hands on you. Or if it be Yahweh's will that you get taken into these camps, you're going to be brought there where they're going to give you a choice. Either you're going to take this or you're going to be unalived. Right? And the man of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai, they're going to stand firm. The elect are going to stand firm in those days, man. They're not going to move. They're not going to budge. Right? Just like the scripture says. Right? And let's grab a precept for that, man. It's the book of Revelation, chapter 20, verse 4. Salakia. And I saw thrones, and they sat upon them, and judgment was given unto them. And I saw the souls of them that were beheaded for the witness of Yahweh Shai and for the word of the Most High. Salakia. And which had not worshipped the beast, neither his image, neither had received his mark upon their foreheads or in their hands. Notice that it says in their hands. Right? And they lived and reigned with Hamashiach 1,000 years. Okay? So if you don't receive this mark, you're going to be put to death. Right? And trust me, you'd rather be put to death on this side and reject the mark rather than you take it. You know, you're going to receive an even greater punishment from Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai. And if you're a Jake, you're going to receive everlasting shame. You don't want that, man. But you know, we got 2/3 of our people. They're gonna take those marks, man. They're gonna take them, and they're not gonna think twice about it. Let's continue. I'm gonna read this over. Revelation 13 and 17, and that no man might buy or sell, right? Save he that had the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name, right? Here is wisdom. Let him that hath understanding count the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man, and his number is 666. Right? And we're going to grab this too. Lock. Justice. Here. Boom. Got knee size stigma.
Strong's G 5516. Chi, Xi, stigma. Chi, Xi, stigma.
Right? Lock it. And we're going to go into that etymology. See this? Etymology, which goes back to stigma, right? And it is what? A mark pricked in or branded upon the body. The ancient Oriental usage, slaves and soldiers bore the name or the stamp of their master or commander, branded or pricked, cut into their bodies to indicate what master or general they belonged to. And there were even some devotees who stamped themselves in this way with the token of their gods, man. Right? And you go down to the Strong's definition, stigma from primary to stick, i.e. prick, a mark incised, which goes back to what? Incision. That's what that's going into. It's going right back to charagma, right? How we went into the etymology of those words. Let's go back. Remember I said I was going to keep it up. Incision. A cutting made in surgery. Now watch this, because I got another video on the side. Salak, let me grab it. Let me grab it. Salakia. Right? Says everything, block, everything you need to know before getting RFID, before getting an RFID implant. Let me see if the video, you see how they got that right on the right hand, man. These devils not slick, right? I'm gonna try to adjust this where you can see the whole video. That's good enough. Right, and listen to this shit, man.
Hi, this is Dr. Bertalan Mescu, the medical futurist, and today I want to talk about RFID chips and whether or not it's a good idea to implant one.
So you have something else that's really interesting in the newsletter about people in Sweden putting implants, microchips, right,
Yes.
into them. We've seen something like this here. There was a company that
In Wisconsin,
right,
yeah.
so they could get stuff out of the vending machine with these microchips. So what's happening in Sweden?
In the past couple of years, Sweden has seen a growing number of people getting microchips implanted under their skin. It was once a very niche thing among the most dedicated biohackers, but now it's becoming mainstream in the tech-savvy and open-minded Scandinavian nation. And I'm a proud geek, so I wanted to get one too. RFID technology has been around for a long time. It is a tag or a label that can exchange data with a reader through radio frequency, or RF, hence the name. There are thousands of applications for it. We use them in our credit cards, we tag our luggage with it, and we implant our pets with it, so they always carry contact information in case they get lost. It's a simple but wonderful technology. What's new is that now we can implant it in our body too. I asked my community if anyone has done it, and Erik Orlovsky, a Swedish anthropologist, came through, so I asked him what his experience was like.
Hi,
My name is Eric, and I recently returned from my 3 months thesis fieldwork in Sweden, researching microchips, and now I'm here to answer a few questions about them. About popularity, I think it's important to understand that there's only about 5,000 people in Sweden with an implant, and out of a population of 10 million, so they're relatively popular but not super widespread. Much of the relative popularity, I think, stems from Sweden being a very tech optimistic culture. So there's this willingness to try out new technologies without necessarily being worried about kind of the big risks or the kind of big things that could go wrong. I have a chip. I got it right here about 3 months ago when I started my research. And I got it for the same reason that I think many other people I've spoken to have gotten one, and it's curiosity. Obviously, where it stems from is different depending on the individual. And in my case, it stemmed directly from my involvement in the research.
So curiosity and tech optimism are what you need with a little openness.
Hey, what's that saying? Curiosity killed the cat?
It's like he's describing me. I went online to order an RFiD chip from one of the most popular online resellers. They are called Dangerous Things. No red flags whatsoever. And in 2 weeks, they delivered this package. As you open the box, you can tell right away that this is not a toy. They immediately warn you not to meddle with anything to keep it all clean and sterile. But what we do have here is one Next implant, one Vivo key implant, 2 injectors, 2 pair of procedure gloves, 4 antiseptic wipes, 2 gauze pads for post-injection care, and bandages. Despite their ominous name, Dangerous Things takes the procedure very seriously, and so should you. This is a small operation. Can you imagine that there is no surgical protocol for the injection of these things? And while technically a piercer could do the job, it's highly recommended to do it with a surgeon. And Dangerous Things does help you with this, as on their website they show you professionally trained partners who are equipped to implant these chips. But what I think is...
No, he said you need, it's recommended, or they recommend that you go to a surgeon. That surgeons, experienced in giving that incision, man. That's what I'm going into. These devils just tell on themselves, man. And they don't hide it. They're not hiding it anymore, man. People are becoming, just like he said, it's getting more and more, it's getting popular. People are starting to do it. Then they do it for stupid shit, like to open doors, to pay for stuff with your hand. That's stupid, man. That's unintelligent as shit. And it's infuriating. Especially when the truth has been out there for the longest, telling you not to do this shit and what it really is. So now if the spirit, is working with you, you know what this MOTB, or the mark of the beast, is at this point, right? It is the RFID C-hip. When you go through the etymology of the words to get the understanding, that's what it is. And one of the Salakia. Give me a second. Salakia. Now I actually want to go into another proof that's going to actually go into that it says, speaking of the RFID C-hip, we're going to go to the book of Revelation, chapter 16 and verse 2, because something's going to happen to those that get this mark, right? And this is irrefutable proof, man, right? This is the book of Revelation, chapter 16, verse 2. And the first went and poured out his vial upon the earth, and there fell a noisome and grievous sore, right, upon the man which had the mark. So a noisome and grievous sore upon the men which had the mark of the beast, and upon them that worshipped his image. So what is this grievous sore, man? It's a lot. This grievous sore. All right. Get this sore.
Strong's G 1668, Helkas. Helkas.
So Helkas, right? Which is a wound, especially a wound producing a discharge, pus, a sore, an ulcer, right? What's one of the drawbacks to the to getting a chip in your body, man? What would be one of those drawbacks? Slovakia. Show you. Right? Medical microchip for people may cause what? May cause cancer. Right? When the food and US when Slovakia, when the US Food and Drug Administration approved implanting microchips in humans, the manufacturer said it would save lives, letting doctors scan the tiny transponders, right? Which got another article right here. Transponder implantable RFID microchips. That's what your transponder is, man. Slovakia for my kids in the background. They're on 1 million right now. So to scan the tiny transponder to access patients' medical records almost instantly, the FDA found responsible assurance the device was safe. Right? They said it was safe, and a sub agency even called it one of 2005's top innovative technologies. Do you hear that? They've been planning this microchip shit. Oh, almost that's 20 years ago, man. Those of you who don't understand, like they're about to push this shit. That's the reason that he's pushing so hard to get this AI shit out there, because they're gonna need AI to handle and sort through all that information for millions upon millions and maybe billions upon billions of microchips. Man, they're not gonna be able to go through that. Hire someone to go through all that shit. They're gonna have to have some type of technology that can go through that shit in seconds. That's where this AI is coming in. Right? They do the same thing for RFID on supplies, on the supply chain, and I'm gonna go to that a little bit later, right? But neither the company nor the regulators publicly mentioned this. A series of veterinary and toxicology studies dating to the mid 1990s. Damn. They've been doing, now they're pushing it back to 1990s that they've been doing this chip shit. Stated that chip implants had induced malignant tumors in some lab mice and rats. Let's drop down. The transponders were the cause of the tumors, said Keith Johnson, a retired toxicology pathologist. So a doctor told them, hey, these microchips are going to cause cancer. Hello, that's your grievous sore. There go your grievous sore, man. That's your pie. You take that mark, you're going to get cancer. That's going to be your grievous sore. That's what it goes back to. So damn. Right? You're going to suffer from this grievous sore, and then while you're suffering from that, you're going to get burned, you're going to get ate up by that fucking nuke. This is why him pushing for this AI infrastructure is so important to go into, because they're going to use this AI to let's go to it, man, because I mentioned it. Let's go to it. It's a lot. Let me find the article I'm looking for, man. Got it. Right. Slot. That thing straighten up. All right. Let's just push up some more. All right. How AI, right? Because I mentioned the inventory, the retail chain. How AI and RFID can impact retail inventory. Independently, radio frequency identification, RFID, and artificial intelligence are powerful technologies for retail. When paired together, though, These solutions can deliver even more value. When still in early phase of working together, RFID and AI have broad retail applications, especially for inventory management. Hello, you're the inventory. When they put those chips in you, when you take that mark, you become their inventory. Expect retailers to leverage this dynamic duo to help reduce loss, to control you, enhance real-time inventory visibility to evaluate the customer and associate experience, to control you, man, and know everything that you're doing. Right? Three use cases when pairing RFID and AI. RFID tags are already a commonplace on the world on a wide range, Salakia, of merchandise in retail. In fact, according to Accenture, 93% of retailers in North America use RFID in some capacity by monitoring items moving throughout the Salakia, moving throughout a store and out the door. RFID captures, tracks, and reads data, providing real-time visibility. They're gonna know everything everywhere you go, how much money you spend, what debts you have. They're gonna control everything. That's why the scriptures say a man shall desire to enter in a city and he won't be able to, man. Why? Because your chip setting's not right, man. You're not even supposed to be in this area. Oh, you can't. You've already ate too much steak today. you can't eat anymore. Right? And those who don't have this RFID, you're gonna be on the run, man. You're gonna have to become pilgrims. Right? We're gonna have to stay away from this shit, man. And some of us are gonna go into concentration camps, man, and be beheaded for this thing. Don't lose faith, though. The water Yahweh for this knowledge, man. The water Yahweh. But guess what? We can use their AI against them real quick. Google's AI, right? This is the AI overview. I asked when dealing with massive amounts of RFID, does massive amounts of RFID need AI technology? The answer was yes. When dealing with massive amounts of RFID data, AI technology is crucial because it can efficiently, Salakia, process and analyze the large volume of information generated by RFID systems, extracting valuable insights and patterns that would be difficult to identify manually, right? With just a regular person, allowing for a better decision making and optimization across various industries like supply chain management and retail. You are the supply, like I said. So in order to process all of that RFID information, when you get that C-HIP, that mark of the beast, AI technology is going to be crucial. That's why they're pushing for AI technology so hard right now, so they can get the ball rolling and get your ass chipped. And who do they got on the forefront of that? He said he wants to have the AI infrastructure finished in 4 years. None other than Donald Trump, aka Nero. Right? And you brothers that are of GMS, you know what I'm talking about. You already know that man is most likely Nero, man. Right? Who was known for unaliving many of our Akim and brethren. And that's what do you think Trump was put in office for again? Look how he got put in office, man. This is not a coincidence. Right? And I asked AI some more questions, man. Right? Are implantable microchips needed in America? AI overview. There is no evidence that implantable microchips are needed in America, and there are many concerns about the technology. In fact, many states have banned mandatory human microchip implants. Oh, snaps. So you're protected by state laws, huh? No, you're not. Check this out. I asked him, can state laws be overturned? Yes. Federal laws can overturn state laws when there is a conflict. Huh? Could it be a conflict like, I don't know, the border being all fucked up and open? Right? We nearly being in war multiple times, possibly being at war with Canada, with Mexico, possibly being at war with Russia and China. Could that be a reason to overturn it? Yes. That's a conflict. This is because the U.S. Constitution supremacy, right, clause established, Slovakia, that federal law is the supreme law of the land. Federal law is the supreme law. And guess what? Let's ask him another question. Are there federal laws against mandatory microchip implants? There are no federal laws against mandatory microchip implants. Federal law is a law of the land, and there's no federal laws against it, which means they could do it whenever the fuck they want. So that whole, oh, this is not gonna happen, man. This is crazy. Are you fucking crazy? Do you not understand what this devil's capable of and what he wants to do? Like, what the fuck? Let's end it. Let's end it with this. Oh, Slovakia. Little one just repeated me. Do not say that. Salak. Dang. My wife is going to chew me out for that one. Salakia, let's get to it.
This COVID-19 crisis, which you call the biggest crisis of our lifetimes, does it to you represent, in the end, little more than a bump in the road, or is it something more profound than that?
I think that in our lifetime, if you think in terms of a couple of decades, it will be big. Not because of the epidemic itself, but even more so because of the economic and political consequences. But in the long sweep of history, thousands of years, no, I don't think it will be one of the big events of history. It could be a watershed event in several ways, like we discussed earlier with surveillance. People could look back in 100 years and identify the coronavirus epidemic as the moment when a new regime of surveillance took over, especially surveillance under the skin, which I think is maybe the most important development of the 21st century, is this ability to hack human beings, to go under the skin, collect biometric data, analyze it, and understand people better than they understand themselves. This, I believe, is maybe the most important event of the 21st century. The moment when a system out there knows me better than I know myself.
Now you hear that? Surveillance under the skin. How are they going to do that? How are they going to do that? Come on, man. Slock. Surveillance under the skin, man. Gets no clearer than this, Akim. There it is. There go your surveillance under the skin right there. That's your surveillance under the skin. If you don't understand that this, what you're looking at is the MOTB, also known as the Mark of the Beast, like the elders of GMS, also known as Great Millstone, have put across for years and years upon years. If you don't understand it now, then you're not gonna be a part of the elect. if you're not going to get this through your head. This is not a game. The MOTB has been revealed onto you. Now, you know, Yahweh's already, if you don't believe it, Yahweh already has you. He already has you, what? The deceive and the deceiver are his, is what the scripture says. So Yahweh already has you deceived. It is what it is. I pray that this was edifying for the Akim and the Akwathium. And with that, Shalom.